hated routine, right? 4 o'clock. I hate waking up early in the morning. Absolutely hate it. If I go on holiday, like back home to Malawi right now, 6 o'clock, someone is knocking on my door. Hey, Carol, someone is saying, oh, they want to come and say hello. It's 6 o'clock. I am still sleeping. Can they come back later? This is how much I don't like waking up early, honestly. Me, now, I just get up early because I have to go to work and get paid at the end of the month. 4 o'clock. And my head wasn't even into the whole routine. Like, if I'm going to study, it's because I want to. I don't want you to force me to study. So waking up at 4 o'clock, 4:30 to go and study was just crazy. And this is the thing. The school that I went to, the hostel and the classes were separated by a main road. So to go to the hostel, you'd have to cross the main road, and to go to the class, you have to come back, cross the main road. Which was a good thing because it felt like we weren't confined to one place. But 4 o'clock was just a nightmare. So at 4 o'clock or 4:30, the matron would come around to make sure everybody has gone to prayer, the morning prayer. And if they find you sleeping, that would be a punishment, right? Sometimes people would hide under the bed and wait for the matron to go around, and then that's it. But then at the class, you had teachers walking around, taking the register and seeing who has come and who hasn't. People don't want to sleep anymore. The teachers are even going around. So all our teachers were male. I don't think I had a female teacher. All the teachers were male, the ones that taught me. I think they had like 1 or 2 female, but none of them taught me. So 4 o'clock, like I would open my book. I want to study. I really want to study. Lord, help me. I want to study. But I just couldn't. Every time I woke up, I realized that I was still on the same page. Still on the same page. I'm not a morning person. I'll pull out an all-nighter, but not in the morning. And I remember one time, this teacher, Mr. Chilongozi, he passed away, so Lord, may his soul rest in peace. He saw me sleeping. So, you know, like you've got your desk in front of you and you're trying to read, but you're just like that. Lord, he saw me sleeping. He just said, get up. I got up. He took me to the staff room, and at that time there was mattress in the staff room. I don't know why they were there. I think they were old mattresses that they wanted to get rid of or something. And he said, since you wanted to sleep here. I wanted to sleep, but you know, because this is a punishment now, all my sleep is gone. I couldn't sleep anymore. 6 o'clock, people are finished prep. They're going to the hostels to get ready for class and come and have breakfast. This teacher has left me here, said nothing. I don't know where he is. I can't leave because if I leave without him, this is trouble. So 6:30, I'm like, I have 30 minutes to go and get ready so I can come back for my breakfast. And I think this guy came like to 7, and I didn't have breakfast that day. I missed my breakfast. So like, absolutely hate mornings. People would steal anything from bucket to school uniform to even your socks. Oh no, spoon. You had to put initials on your spoon. You had to put initials on your plate. It was crazy. I'm not saying, like, for me, I've never stolen, right? But if I do see a plate and there's no owner, I'll just take it and wait for the owner to come and say, oh, this is my plate. It's not like if they come, I'll be like, oh no, this is mine. No, I'll be like, oh, okay, it's yours. Don't worry, let me find another plate to put my food in. So I don't know if that's like stealing. It was more of like borrowing. But people would like proper steal uniform. So you had to put initials on your skirt, on your brows. Sometimes when you wash your uniform, people would hang them inside their rooms. Because if you hang them on the line outside, the chances of someone stealing very high. Even groceries, So you always make sure that your grocery bag, where you're keeping all your groceries, all your food, has a padlock. But where there's a will, there's a way. There are some people who would actually tear that apart, like the suitcase or the bag. Most of the grocery bags were Ghana must goes. So you tear it apart and take the food that you want. And that was just it. But I think that was common with certain hostels, like maybe younger classes. But when you get to like Form 4, people are mature, no one wants to really steal. But you know, there's always that one person who got and steal. And I think the most annoying thing, for me, it wasn't the food, it was knowing that someone has stolen your socks. You know, I really had nice socks and someone has stolen it. And it's really hard to find out who has stolen your socks because everybody has white socks on. So you have to look really close, like, oh, is she wearing my socks or no? And you don't want to harass someone by saying, oh, take off your shoes, let me see if you're wearing my socks. So that was crazy. That was crazy. The food, it wasn't great. I remember one time we were having lunch. So our lunch during the week would normally be beans, so boiled beans, and if we're lucky, they will add tomatoes. But the beans had like rivers in them, and sima, which is made out of maize flour. And I remember finding like a gurko in the buckets where they dished out the beans from, and this is after everybody had had their lunch. And they were like, oh my god, that's so disgusting. I don't think we made such a big deal out of it, and I don't know why. I think this is because we had already eaten. We had like rice 3 times a week, I think, and then we'd have eggs, boiled eggs once a week. We never had fish, which was really weird because we were literally along the lake shore. Like behind our hostels was the lake. And we never had fish. Never. I have no idea why. And I think because maybe fish is expensive. So if you calculate, we were about 400 students. So that's like 400 fish, right? So maybe it worked out a bit expensive. I'm not sure, but I just don't understand why we never had fish. We had meat, I think, like twice a week, and chicken once every month. Yeah. So in terms of the day-to-day food, it wasn't great, but we made it work because people brought condiments from home. So for example, with the beans that had no tomato or oil in them, you would add oil from home, and then some people would add tin fish, and then you'd add like spices, you know, spice up everything here and there. When food runs out, and the food runs out before you receive it, that's not my problem, that's not the school's problem, that's no one's problem, but your problem. So that I didn't really like. For example, if I was really looking forward to having rice, especially rice when it's time for rice, and you realize that they have run out of rice, I never liked it at all. But I'm not a shy person, so I was one of those people, if they have run out of food and I didn't get any, you would say that wagasa. I don't know where the name comes from. So wagasa means you did not receive any food and the food is finished. I would go around and ask people and say, sorry, but me, I found the food finished. I don't have any food and I really want to have lunch. I'm hungry. Share me a little bit from some of what you've received. So people would like maybe give me a spoon of rice. So I'll probably go to 10 people. Spoon, 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 spoon. The best bits were the people who have already mixed their rice with condiments they've brought from home. So you normally pick where to bake. So you bake those people who have already put like the tin fish, the corned beef. I know it doesn't sound great, but like I had to be, you know, strategic with my baking. That way, I'll reduce the amount of condiments I put in my own rice. I missed being from home pretty much all the time. The feeling of going back to school was just, I just wanted to be home, do nothing, because going to school meant waking up early, studying, socializing, maybe trying to be nice to people. I just wanted to be home and sleep and not do anything. So going back to school, I always felt sad, even to like in my early years going to boarding school, like in primary school, I would cry every time they dropped me off. I would cry like the whole day and feel sad for the whole week. And when I went to secondary school, I would feel sad like the first day. I wouldn't cry, but I would feel sad the first day, second day, the whole week. And then the second week it would probably like just sink in and be like, okay, I'm here. I'm just gonna start counting down to end of the term and then go home. Then hooray! Bullying. I don't think I was actually bullied that much. I was a quiet girl, I was a nice girl. I was like, oh, look at her, she's so quiet. Yeah, when I was just studying boarding school in secondary school, yeah, I was quiet. So I wasn't bullied that much. I think most of the times the things that affected me were sort of like collective punishments where people are making noise and no one wants to give up who was making noise. And then you end up just being in the middle of all of it and being insulted. I don't think I was bullied in doing stuff that were humiliating. And I think the people that sort of like were treated that way were people who either just like to make trouble or just like to be in the limelight. So the school that I went to, the bullying wasn't heavy bullying, because I know that people who go to school and once you get to school and you're in Form 1, so that's like the first class in secondary school, they'll put you some crazy stuff, but I never really went through it. So I can't really say much about that. But I know there are people who were there at the same time as me and they would say something different.